Hello everybody, my name is Merc. We're back post Shadows of the Erdtree, specifically in Mikola's Halig Tree. I played a little bit yesterday off camera. I didn't record it all yesterday, but I found a bunch of things and I cheated a little, I will admit. So one of the things I cheated about was looking for some random trinkets that I noticed we were missing. I had like some +2 versions of trinkets, but did not have the +0 or +1s. And I figured, you know what, who cares if I look up the location of those? So that's what I did, including one right here on the rooftop that you may recall. Oh crap, I forgot how to do stuff. How do you play this game? Does anyone know how to play this game? Like I said, I didn't really play yesterday. That's not true. I played a little bit, but it was mostly just wandering around, and it was on my alternate character, the mage that I've mentioned a few times. I found some things on that mage character that I did not find on this character, so I kind of want to go and do a bit of a collect-a-thon on this episode before we go back to Melania. We don't even need to take out these dudes, we just need to get good, you know? Have you considered that? So we tried jumping in this building and failing a few times. What I didn't do is this. Okay, well... See, I didn't do that. I didn't do that last time. I didn't need the Crystallian's help to kill me. Excuse me? Oh, I was gonna say, what just happened? Alright, well... Maybe I should put some effort into not dying. Maybe I should do that. You may notice we're using the red bear claws. I was using them a bit yesterday, but as I have been alluding to, I haven't really been playing too hard. Okay, I forgot that because this is considered one weapon. If you L1, it is a guard as opposed to a combo attack. So I gotta be pressing R1 is what I want. Alright, let's take out these dang snails. Very rude of them to be doing this to me. Okay, please. I'm mostly using the red bear claws because I find them fun, okay? I recognize it's not the most efficient of strats. Okay. And this is why I stopped going for this building, because apparently this is one of the hardest jumps in the game. I don't know if that's actually true, but it feels like it. Alright, this has been a right mess, a horrible mess of a start so far. But I guess, it's better than... Is it better than just having a successful attempt right away? I don't know. You could argue one way or the other. Okay, I need you to chill, Spearman. Holy crap. Maybe I should switch my weapon just so I can one-shot these dang snails. Okay, but it doesn't matter because we're gonna get this first try. No big deal, right now. Alright, just gotta line up the jump. It's time to do some Olympics long jumping. We've done it. It only took forever. Okay, that's a fun combo, I will admit. Like, I do think these claws are pretty fun, but when you go from big hammer that one-shots dudes into claws that you have to spam 30 times, it doesn't feel as impressive, I will admit. So yes, we could not get into this building when I was playing here last because I kept trying to jump from that building. I think I tried jumping from over here as well, but I didn't use the apex of the roof to get the most height that you need. So it makes sense as to why I could not make this happen. Oh, hello, dudes. Also, I am spamming R1. I could be using my R2 a little bit more. So there is a chest in here. This contains a talisman. I can't quite recall which one it is. Right, the Viridian Amber Medallion +2. I've also like I said, played a little bit on the off camera and found a bunch of random items. So maybe we can read some lore right now of stuff that I found. So I went back to Raya Lucaria specifically because on my alternate character, I found another path on the roofs that led to a couple crystal crabs that I hadn't found before. And I got a couple new items. So we got the Lazuli Glintstone Crown, Scholar's Lazuli Conspectus, Study Carry and Sorceries, a heterodox pursuit that views the moon as equal to the stars. I think heterodox just means like it's pretty standard. So yeah, this is an interesting crown. These are worn by the battle mages. I also killed some marionettes along the way. The marionette soldier armor here, worn by marionette soldiers crafted to serve the sorcerers. Construction of this armor is remarkably crude, now rusted over and severely dented. For a doll, the only thing that matters is it does not break. So this confirms that the marionettes and other dolls were created by sorcerers, which I already suspected, but here it is in text. Then we have the marionette soldier bird helm of the avionettes. Metal helm formed in the likeness of a face of a bird, worn by avionette soldiers, crafted to serve the sorcerers. Construction of this helm is remarkably crude, and same lore as before. And then there was a chest on top of the building, on top of one of the roofs that I ignored, or rather couldn't find access to. And is a full moon crossbow, one of a kind enchanted crossbow of exquisitely detailed craftsmanship made to celebrate the matrimonial union and reconciliation between the houses of the Erdtree and the full moon, Lanedell and Raya Lucaria. The two rings dance when reloading the weapon, reveals true worth when used with wholly infused bolts. That's interesting. I kind of want to put that on. There's a couple more items, but I've just read a bunch as is, so I don't need to read more, is my justification there. Let's just for giggles. Is this a holy bolt? No. Do we have holy bolts? This is a holy bolt. Holy bolt. Okay, so that's a regular bolt. And that's a golden bolt. I imagine it just does more damage. I just mostly wanted to see the animation. It's pretty interesting. We'll remove that though, because we don't really need them. So I'm gonna pull up the map, and there's gonna be a lot of markers here. Let's just kind of go through them as I deem appropriate. So we totally ignored this Cave of the Forlorn. I grabbed the Site of Grace to use against the magma worm because that magma worm outside kept killing me, and we did not actually explore this cave. So let's start here. There is also another cave that I discovered that we had not explored. I don't know if it was a similar situation. I just hit the Site of Grace and then left. But I explored like half of it off camera and then realized, hey, I hadn't actually been down here. I was finding a lot of items, and I will read more about them later. I figure I didn't want to start this episode by reading 30 items in a row. Okay, we got some misbegotten down here. And a rat. They seem to be living in harmony. Unsure as to if this is the way to go. You know, maybe we should just put on the big hammers again. I just want to have some fun, you know? But it's really fun to just kill dudes in one shot, generally. I find, anyway. I do like this weapon, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be using it. I want to find excuses to use it more, but it's proving maybe not the best time to do so at this late game experience. Is that a rat? No, it's another sleeping misbegotten. Speaking of rat, can you calm down? Well, considering we have the torch out, let's actually just put on a big hammer. Like this one. There's that other hammer with an exclamation mark. I will read it when we go into the other cave. That's where I found it. Big ol' misbegotten here. You know, that is quite the simplified equation here, using the big hammer. I didn't actually explore that other path. This does look like it's a hidden path, but I doubt it is. This could be a way to go, so let's go over here. Excuse me, rat. Okay, this does appear to be a bit of a dead end with an item. Some freezing grease, which we've never used once. I just am not convinced on the idea of using a status ailment grease without some sort of backup to ensure that it procs. You know what I mean? Does that make sense to y'all? Speaking of status ailment procking, I actually upgraded one of the weapons. I was still holding L1 there. This rotten battle hammer. I didn't upgrade it all the way because I ran out of souls. But the idea of using a Scarlet Rot battle hammer might be intriguing because we have the other battle hammer, so we could use a Scarlet Rot grease on the regular battle hammer and then throw that Scarlet one on my offhand. Seems like a decent idea. Got some Mikola lilies here, which is a bit odd considering. What is this even referring to? Are you okay? Oh, I see what they're saying. That's kind of funny. Yeah, you would think the lilies wouldn't grow A, underground, B, in the frozen ground. But perhaps Mikola has blessed this cave a little bit. There is an item up there. This, again, is the Cave of the Forlorn, which is like the Cave of the Forgotten, I guess. Does that mean Mikola is partly responsible for the misbegotten? It's hard to tell when they're big boys or not. I just kind of assume if they're sleeping, they're a big boy. I'm curious. Let's go to the spirit ashes here. We got winged misbegotten. The misbegotten are held to be a punishment for making contact with the crucible, and from birth they are treated as slaves or worse. Do we have a big boy misbegotten here? We don't even have regular misbegotten. That's kind of interesting. Apologies, I'm just, I'm curious, you know? Oops. I was curious to see if there were any lore about the wolves, because I've been thinking about wolves a lot lately. They later encountered a nameless Tarnished who welcomed them as hunting companions. I wonder who that Tarnished would be. But because they're nameless, we will never know. Alright, there's definitely a lot of dudes in here. What is back here? This cave is a little meandery, and my thoughts are already scattered as is this morning. Did we come from over here? I don't think we did, because I've been picking up the lilies along the way. Got some classic ice platforming here, at least when it's not slippery. Oh, is this like the way to go? It might be the way to go. Before we go down there, that's where we came from. Let's go into this little side tunnel with the potential group of enemies. Alright, so there's definitely two big boys here. Make that maybe 3. That one might be like an archer. I was correct. Let's just bring them back up here. No reason to fight them all in the open. Smack it out of the air. Alright, we get smacked ourselves. That was bad. You don't need me to say it. We'll double chug. We do interrupt his attack. Alright, I was expecting a bit more of a group, but I'm glad it was only the few here. Another dead end. We got a rune arc and spirit flame arrows, which the ghost flame, again, was originally used to reconnect dead bodies to the universe, I guess. Help them pass, I guess. But I think Queen Marika did not like that, so part of her establishment of the Erdtree involved bringing bodies to the Erdtree roots so they could be returned to the cycle of life. That's my interpretation. She very much did not like the cycle of life and death. So, as an Empyrean, she worked against that. And then her idea was extra punished by the death of one of her children, Godwyn. Godwyn the Golden. I'm still not entirely sure why the jellyfish and some other spirits are blue, whereas a lot of the spirits we see are, most of the regular spirits we see are silver. Again, silver seems to be a color of death. Versus gold being a color of life, if you will. The gold scarab trinket attracts more runes. Runes could be considered like your willpower. The more runes you have, the more powerful you are, the more you could exert your will. And then the other trinket, the silver trinket, raises item discovery, the carry of treasure and precious things. Treasure being like a physical object, kind of being the opposite of willpower. It's like a dragon half embedded into the ice up above us. So silver is more of like a physical manifestation as opposed to I was gonna say a spiritual manifestation, but that's kind of going against what I'm saying. But I guess the idea of spirit being like your inner will, your willpower. I'm kind of talking around in circles. What else is new? Alright, I imagine this is gonna be a boss fight down here. I wonder if it's gonna be like a dragon or something. Considering we've seen a few dragon motifs in this cave. As well as outside it, had the magma worm. Magma worms are not true dragons. Be wary of boss. Alright. So with that, let's cast some spells upon us. And we'll even chug our jug, shall we? Oh, I thought this would be the arena. It is very much not. That's fine. We are wasting a bit of time with our juice. I should have expected it was a misbegotten in here. Dude, you're not gonna get your fancy magics off like that. Alright, well, GG. And that's why we pull out the big hammer. I didn't even use my second big hammer. Golden Order Greatsword. It has like a rune arc as part of its hilt there. Let's read the description of that. Greatsword made of light, modeled after the Elden Ring itself, forged by King Consort Radagon to proudly symbolize the tenets of the Golden Order, a legendary armament. Telltale signs betray that this is once the greatsword bequeathed to him by his first wife, Renala. Its unique skill is establish order, raise the armament in a salute, releasing a golden explosion. Repeated inputs send out waves of golden light. That's interesting. I kind of want to see how it looks. Even though we cannot use it. Requires more faith. Oh yeah, that looks pretty cool. Pretty cool. We can't even use its ability, of course, because we don't have the faith required. Alright. So instead of warping out, we're actually just gonna warp entirely out. I feel like we did a good job exploring this little cave here. It does make me wonder why this beast would have Radagon's sword. Doesn't necessarily make sense to me, but perhaps... I can't even figure out like a fake lore reason, like he beat Radagon in a battle and took his sword, or maybe Radagon left it here or something. Doesn't really make much sense to me. So one of the things that I have discovered in my play yesterday off camera is there's a lot of NPC quests we could be following up on, including our friend Bach here, who we've not seen in quite a while. I just happened upon him here, and I didn't say hi or anything because I wanted to make sure we got it all on camera. So let's say hi now.
Good to see you, Master. Do you remember me? Bach.
How could I forget?
You helped me before and retrieved my sewing needle. Please, Master, allow me to serve you as your seamster. I can't make nothing from scratch, but I'm happy to make adjustments to your garments.
You know what? I just realized we haven't, on this character, I don't think we talked to him since we gave him the sewing needle. So that's why he's so unsure of us right now. On my other character, my mage, I've encountered him in a number of other spots, but because we progressed so much on this character, he just continued along his path until he ended up here in Lanedell. So he can alter our garments, of course. We have tons of pieces of equipment. Oh, you can even take off the hood on this helmet. That's pretty cool. I kind of want to do that. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. We're not going to use it, but I'm curious. Mostly it's like removing capes from various cloaks. Oh, this is interesting. You can remove... Okay, you can remove the cloak itself and just have some armbands. That is interesting. Let's talk to him.
Master, I was wondering, do you ever make adjustments to your garb yourself? I would, well, rather you let me do the job when possible, please. I don't ask anything in return, you know, and, well, I am your personal seamster after all.
Of course. He's got quite the English on him, I guess.
My apologies.
I wonder where he learned that.
Your wardrobe includes the garb of the old demigods, and I'm afraid I can't make adjustments to them.
I do have quite the wardrobe.
My mum told me once that a royal seamster would do them up in a jiffy.
Who is this mum?
Master. Before long, I'll be that good too.
It's weird because some of the demi-queens have names with M's, so does that mean they're also descended from America? And then you gotta like wonder, what does that mean? Because, I mean, apparently she's got a half-brother who is a beast man, so there's some funky stuff going on within her lineage, I suppose, potentially anyway.
Is that a gift for my undeserving self?
We'll give him the gold
Thank
sewing
you
needle.
kindly. But what on earth could it... Oh, amazing! I've never seen a golden needle. Not in all my life. With a spectacular royal crest to boot. Are you certain that this is for me?
Actually, never mind.
I can hardly believe it.
I kind of want to look at the item. I should have looked at it before we gave it to him.
Polish my craft enough that I deserve this golden gift. I'll be the golden seamster, Bok. Now I'll be able to sew anything. Even the threads of the demigods.
Also, I can't remember. Millicent also, we gave her like a golden needle to cure herself a little bit. Now we can change like Mesmer's helm here. We can remove the red hair if we don't want it. That's interesting. The Lord of Blood robe. Black knife armor is also included in this, as well as Freya's armor. Maybe this was already potentially adjustable. Let's continue talking to him. We have many things to say to him because we've not seen him in so long.
Master, may I ask
Or
you
he has
something?
things to ask of us,
Would
I
you
guess.
mind if I called you Lord? I heard that you and the other Tarnished seek the throne of the Elden Lord. Well, I know that you will be the one, and you'd make just the manner of kind-hearted lord that I'd wish for. So please, if you would, allow me to call you Lord.
Box always believed in us. He is the greatest. I mean, if he wants to, I am gonna become the Elden Lord. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
You don't say. Thank you. Thank
Also,
you.
it seems like he
My lord, my lord,
needs this.
my lord. Please become Elden Lord.
Just for you, bud.
Please let I, Bok the Seamster, remain at your side.
Don't worry, I'm gonna give you an exclusive wing. Oh, he gave us a gesture for that. That's awesome. I'm gonna give him a wing in my mansion just for Buck. Surely she'd be happy for you.
That Mum would be pleased if she knew that I'm as good as any royal seamster now. Oh, it's still not enough. I need to learn how to sew from scratch like her.
Okay, have you ever thought so?
My lord, have you ever wished you might be born again? Well, they say that Renala of Rea Lucaria has the power to help people be reborn. Oh, me? Reborn? Oh, look at me. When you're this ugly, well, being reborn, it would hardly make a difference, I'm afraid.
So we could give him a larval tear to allow him to be reborn, but I've also have been hinted at
Already, my lord.
that that's not necessarily what I want to
Please
do.
Be safe on your journeys.
So he thinks he's ugly. But what if we tell him otherwise? We can't really speak. We have hello, we have thank you, we have apologies, we have wonderful, we have please help, we have my beloved, which is the newest one we got. And we have let's get to it. I thought we had a you're beautiful one. Oh no. Am I missing that? Okay, I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pull up the old internets. You know, if you Google "you're beautiful," it turns out that it gives you some songs. Where do you find this? Mount Gelmir. This is the last one we're missing. Oh, I know exactly where this is why I remember, because I got this on my alternate character. I knew I had picked this up, and then I thought to myself, like, there's a few items here, such as my beloved and you're beautiful, that I was unsure of. So it is in the Hermit Village. There's actually an item right here as well where Primeval Sorcerer Azur was. I kind of wanted to come here later, but let's do box quest. So you may recall Selin said that she brought Azur and Lusat to Raya Lucaria when she took over. So I came back here and I noticed, oh yeah, his body is gone. In fact, there's a new item here, and it's Azur's glintstone crown and robe. So I guess we'll read about that real quick. Crown of Azur, primeval current sorcerer set with a prominent blue-green glintstone. This crown replaced Azur's brain and skull altogether, and now, removed from his body, it is all but dead. What powers remains within raises the potency of Azur's primeval current sorceries at the cost of additional FP consumption. And then the robe reserved for Grandmasters at Academy of Raya Lucaria, corroded by blue-green glintstone. Since the Grandmasters Azur and Lusat were driven from the Academy, no one has achieved their formerly held rank of a master, Grandmaster. And then Azur's manchettes. I never really know how to pronounce that word. Corroded by blue-green glintstones, worn by Azur, primeval current sorcerer. Azur had reached a near inorganic state. So he studied sorcery so much that the glintstones became part of him, to the point where they almost became him entirely, which is interesting. But yes, I think it's on a roof over here. As I said, I've been playing a decent amount of my mage character. I have explored all of Lucaria. I checked out more of the Volcano Manor, and I also went to Lanedale and discovered a few things, which you will see in this episode. But yes, I think there's like a roof around here somewhere that apparently we missed this. You're beautiful. And in fact, there are even demi-humans around here. What the heck is this? Oh, it's a golden rune, of course. I wonder if the demi-humans, Bach being one of them, liked the idea of being called You're Beautiful, so they left that stone there so they could reuse it at any time. Unconditional love, unrestrained assurance. It must have been a mother speaking.
You're beautiful.
Oh, that. Why do the other ones sound so weird compared to that? Am I wrong in that assumption? It feels like they have like a, maybe I'm thinking of just the other ones. What about My Beloved?
My beloved.
Yeah, their voice is actually different.
Please help.
Let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
So this is the last of the prattling pate stones. It's kind of funny that that wasn't even on a roof. It was just, you know, next to a building. Kind of reinforcing the idea that I am missing some decent stuff. Well, I shouldn't say decent stuff, but I mean, I'm missing sometimes some obvious things, even though I feel like I'm being thorough in my exploration here. So yes, I was hinted at that this man is very beautiful, so let's reinforce it to him.
You're beautiful.
Bok the seamster, ready to make adjustments.
I heard a voice.
Did I just hear my mum speaking?
Aww.
Thank you very much. Mum was always the only one who said I was beautiful. And now, my dear Lord, let me hear her voice. Oh, please, if I may dream just once, do you feel the same way my mum did, my lord? Do you think I'm beautiful despite these looks?
Of course. Not at all. I hate you, actually. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, my lord, my dear lord, I, Bok the seamster, am forever in your service. May the throne of Elden Lord be yours.
It's funny because, as I mentioned, playing on my alt character, my mage.
Already, my lord. Please do be safe on your journeys.
I'm like not thoroughly exploring as much as I want to be, but I'm still finding stuff that I had not encountered on my main Merc here. I think this means we might be done with his quest for, at least for now. Let's talk to him again just to be sure.
Bok, this ready to make a
And yeah, he has nothing new to say.
already, please.
I'm just gonna say it again because, if anything, I want to give him this stone.
You're beautiful.
If it's his mom, like, I should just give him the stone, you know what I mean? Also, if it's his mom, does that mean that his mom was the demi-human queen that we killed up here ages ago? She was a caster, a sorceress, if you will. So one of the other things I encountered on my alt was there's like a little mini boss encounter here that we totally missed. In fact, there's two. I don't know if it's just I was getting a little fatigued with this area, so I wasn't exploring as well as I thought I was. This guy seems pretty easy to miss, though. There is a singular commoner up ahead. And as you approach him, you have a bit of a mini boss fight with Morgott here, which is weird. Oh, I do so much more damage than on my mage. It's hilarious. All right, I can't die though. If I die here, it'll be a very sad state of affairs. Listen, I got a big hammer too. Some might argue that mine's bigger. All right. Last night I died a lot to this guy on my mage character. My mage is like eternally underleveled. And then we got Viridian Amber number 1 and number 2 now, which is kind of funny. I noticed we had like the number 3 version, so I was like, okay, where do these things gotta be? They gotta be somewhere that we missed them. But yes, so my mage character is kind of cheesing some things because I have so much knowledge about the game now. I'm just like skipping stuff, finding the medallion pieces early, coming up here at like level... I was like level 30, level 40 when I first came up here. Now my character's around 55-ish. Which might be a little lower than it should be. I also need to upgrade my weapons more, but that's neither here nor there. What I did discover is at this camp, which again, we must have totally ignored. There's another ulcerated tree spirit, my favorite. I was gonna say, this guy's probably gonna be pretty easy. It seems like the ulcerated tree spirits scale as the game progresses, or I should say, as you get deeper within the game, the ones you find later are much more deadly, or have much more HP. Once again, not the most graceful of fights, but I don't need to try very hard versus this dude, considering how much higher level we are. And we got a golden seed out of it, which is kind of what I was expecting. Let's see what's in this chest, though. Usually it's like a unique item inside these. It's kind of odd that I missed this camp entirely, but... A giant crusher. This would be an item we might actually use. It is a colossal weapon. Does physical damage. Requires 60 strength. And that's interesting. A hammer made from a boulder. Used in the war against the giants. One of the heftiest weapons in the entire lands between. After the giants were quelled and man turned against man in violence, this weapon was all but forgotten. Man has grown feeble in comparison to his forebears. Strong men make weak men, yada yada. Alright, so that's another thing that we have that I found on my alt character that I have now cleaned up on my main. This is the cave that I mentioned that I apparently completely ignored. I don't know why this is the case. I guess because I was going to the Shaded Ruins or something. I think I'd like probably touch the site of grace and then continue moving north and then totally forgot about it. Totally forgot about it to the point where when I came back here off camera yesterday, I didn't even realize that we hadn't explored this area. It just seemed like any other cave to me. Alright, there is a dog in there, so this torch is gonna prove to be pretty useful. So there's a path up here. I'm trying to remember what I discovered and what I didn't yesterday. There's a blue item up ahead. So the reason why I rediscovered, or rather came back to this cave in the first place and did it off camera, is because I think there's like a +1 trinket in here that we already have a better version of. And that blue item might be said trinket. Right, I think so. This was a weapon. I kind of want to go pull out. Okay, we got a bunch of Lanedell soldiers in here. Oh, I put away the torch. The dogs are going to attack. Oh, hello. Okay. I need you to chill out, Mr. Lanedell soldier. Lanedell Knight, these are the soldiers. Gotta make that distinction, you know? So yes, this could have been a good spot to get some more smithing 5s that I direly needed earlier. But yes, I believe that body in the shack that we just were in with the dogs had this weapon here, the troll hammer, mining tool of stone digger trolls used to crack bedrock. Trolls are descended from the giants, and these were supposedly once used as ceremonial smithing tools. In the distant past, smithing was considered divine. And that lore is reinforced in the Shadow Realm. And then these are the +1 and regular horn charms that I realized I was missing, which is what started my discovery, or this path to find them in the first place. In particular, I guess I'll show you. One of them was found, if you may recall, there was a dude in the Lake of Rot. It was one of the shaman people. Can't remember their name, at the ancestral dudes. There was one single guy hanging out in the swamp, and I was like, why is he there? And then I didn't actually kill him. If you kill him, you got the +1 immunizing trinket. Is that what it was? It was this trinket. Yeah, immunizing. Gives you resistance to poison and rot, which would make some sense as to for why he was able to hang out in there. Another item that I missed was up here in the mausoleum compound, just around the corner. Was the first of, I think, that stalwart charm is what it was. Yes, the stalwart horn charm was found there. And then I realized, finding that troll hammer, I was like, oh, we haven't been here at all. So that's why I decided, okay, we need to go and actually explore this on camera. Perhaps this is where the troll hammer was. It was in one of these two storage rooms. Oh, there's a boss fight right there. So let's see what else we can find first. Be wary of fire. I am the fire that they need to be wary of. Anyone else? Oh, it's just the dog. Wait, is there nothing else over here? Just roll through some explosive barrels while you're holding a torch. Be wary of message. Is there really nothing else over here? That's kind of odd. Just a room with nothing in it. You'd think there'd be at least like a smithing stone or something. No hidden path ahead. Good boy. Well, I guess we'll go up to that other path that we saw over here. I don't know how long the recording is because I have an internet browser window over my OBS. Apologies. Okay. We're about halfway through this episode already. Jeez. So we might not even get to Melania in this episode, which is probably for the best if this just is going to be us cleaning up various things. Do some bouncy jumps. Take out the dudes. Got some stanching boluses. Is the dog gonna react or not? I feel like there's a dog somewhere. There's smithing stone 5. There's the dogs. How you doing? A bolt drake talisman. Okay, so this was the talisman that prompted my search into this cave in the first place. Almost ignored that somber 6, not that we need them. So again, part of the reason why I was searching is because I noticed I had +2 versions of stuff and did not have the +1 version. Another case of that was the Spell Drake +1, which was found in Kalid in Celia in particular. So I guess that means we go back down and we go into this boss fight, which I imagine is going to be pretty simple. And we'll make it even simpler by using our overpowered abilities, or rather making ourselves even more overpowered with our abilities. Why not? Oh dog, chill. It's just a stone digger troll, which makes sense because we got actually the weapon he's using right now in this cave. Alright, that's cool, good fight. A great club, another big weapon for us as well. I don't know if the dog can come in here. I kind of doubt it. Let's read about this. Enormous club of hard wood. Wildly hammering foes with this striking weapon requires no dexterity, only brute force. While it may seem sacrilegious, this weapon is said to be a withered branch of the Erdtree. Imbued with holy power, this weapon will never snap. It's got golden land skill, thrust the armament into the ground, and gather strength to unleash a blast of sacred energy that coalesce into golden darts. Oh, that's what the Erdtree avatars use. That's interesting. And it really just requires 35 strength for a holy weapon. That's really intriguing. Also, it's kind of intriguing because there's a great club in like every Souls game, and usually it's just a big old hammer, a big old weapon. But this one is tweaked a little bit in that it also has some holy damage. So I am glad we came back here, even if we're never going to use either of the 3 weapons that we just discovered. Literally all 3 of them are colossal weapons. That's kind of funny. Just in time for me to be running out of materials to upgrade stuff. So you may notice I have these blue markers, and I have found Millicent has been here the whole time. We have to progress her quest line. That is one of the few things I cheated on, I promise. I googled where would Millicent be, and then I went to all of her locations until I came back to this spot and was like, oh yeah, she's still here. So I marked off the other locations as well. I want to go visit Muriel again because we have a couple books that we could give him. I think it's a male turtle. And also we haven't seen him in a while. Whereas on my mage character, I'm giving him all my books, so I'm learning everything from him basically.
Do you need anything?
Is he gonna say anything interesting about Radagon?
Said that Lord Radagon harbored a secret.
Right.
A famed sculptor of the Erdtree capital was once summoned to render Lord Radagon's likeness in giant stature when he glimpsed the skeleton in Radagon's closet. And as such, it's said the great statue harbors his secret too.
Okay, so maybe in Lanedell there's a statue of Radagon that we should be paying extra attention to. Hopefully that statue is still found in Lanedell and hasn't been covered by ash. We already know about absolution, right?
You have undergone absolution.
Right, we used it once.
The miracle that blossoms from these grounds. Good. As such, the bond you may have strained or severed has been restored to its rightful state of harmony. Be mindful not to take for granted the serenity restored by this miracle.
We used it because
Never to break a bond again.
I hit one of the merchants just to see what it was like when they attack. And I felt bad about it, so I came back here and made sure the merchants were gonna be my friends again, because I think if you aggro one of the merchants, they might all hate you afterwards. One of the very first merchant in the game mentioned something like that. Let's give him our prayer books, the giant prayer book.
What have we here? Very well, let us both learn together. Heresy is not native to the world. It is but a contrivance. All things can be conjoined.
So Muriel believes that both sorcery and incantations are both worthy pursuits and not heresy, I guess.
Oh, what have we here? Very well, let us heresy.
Okay, same thing. So we got some new, not even new sorceries, just new incantations. We do have a lot of souls, a lot of runes, so we might as well start buying some stuff. We got Ancient Dragon's Lightning Spear, secret incantation in the capital's Ancient Dragon cult. Creates a spear of red lightning and stabs into the ground from above. On impact, the spear will burst into trails of lightning covering the area. Spoken of in legend, red lightning is the weapon wielded by ancient dragons, and we have seen that in the DLC, as well as versus Placidusax. We also got Lightning Strike, summons a red bolt of lightning that scatters, spreads around the surrounding area. The same lore as before. And then we got some Fire Giant spells here. One of the incantation that draws directly from the power of the Fire Giants. Hurl a massive ball of raging fire. Giant's flame take thee. That's an interesting spell name. There is no record of this incantation in common prayer books. Only a select few prelates know of its existence. We can't use it. We need a bit more faith. We can use this lightning strike. That's interesting. And then flame fall upon them. Hurls several balls of fire at once. Charging enhances potency and causes the balls of fire to explode. That's intriguing. It's almost intriguing enough that I kind of want to level up faith to use them, but I'm more about the bestial spells as opposed to fire. So, all right, that was a nice little detour here. Speaking of nice little detour, as mentioned, this marker here is just to indicate that on these rooftops was the path that I missed. It was just like an extra jump that I totally ignored that led around here and into a big tower. But let's go visit Renala and Sorceress Selen, shall we? Actually, let's remove this marker here since we're gonna go do that. Going all across the world, cleaning up as much as we can. And you may notice Selen is not here. Renala is back in her original spot. I came back here off camera and noticed that. Instead, there's a graven mass up ahead. Let's talk to Renala first. She doesn't seem to have a lot of lore, so she probably is not going to say anything here.
Now, is it thy wish?
Yeah, she says the same thing every time. I don't think this statue would have the secret mentioned by Muriel. But that is a statue of Radagon, of course. Let's go to this graven mass, I suppose. I imagine this is Selen now.
My friend,
Okay, so she didn't learn anything new, even though she's been transformed. Actually, let's just buy this. I don't know if that'll do anything. Probably not. which is Glintstone Crown. Okay, so now I know what to do with my alt character for this helmet, because I really want it. I don't want to be using the old man helmets. One of the Glintstone Crowns bestowed upon Raya Lucaria's scholars whose pursuits were deemed worthy increased intelligence and arcane to the detriment of stamina. Well, I don't really need arcane on my alt character, but this gentle-looking crown was granted to a scholar who excelled in her studies, which also merited the title of witch. Well, that's kind of sad. Yeah, I came back here because I was like, maybe the bodies of Azure and Lusat were around here, but I didn't find them. And instead I saw that, and I was like, okay, we gotta come back here, apparently. So now I wonder, what if we reload the area? Will anything change? She is still a graven mass. Well, that sucks. I was hoping she would have a decent ending, but it seems like most characters in this game don't get them, which is why I was happy to give Bach his ending, and I was kind of happy that they hinted at that ending for me, because I don't want Bach to be sad too. Now, this chest here, we still have not been able to open. This message, "Let there be lover," kind of indicates to me that maybe we have to go see Radagon or go to his chamber to find the key before this chest, which is why it's still locked to this day. That would make some sense. All right, is there anything else we're missing? Any more green dots on the map? Ah, yes. Okay, let's go to the converted Fringe Tower. I believe I visited this tower right near the start of me playing Elden Ring for the first time in 2 years. The restart of the Let's Play, I guess. And I couldn't figure out the puzzle here. And once again, on my mage character, it seemed very simple. In fact, it shouldn't be that complicated at all. So, this is a converted Fringe Tower. We got a Statue of America here, and this message from a dev, or rather a dev message, I guess. May erudition light the way. So there is a gesture here, just named erudition, I believe. I should have it, because you get it from Sorcerer Tops. Ah, there it is. And then usually there are messages here saying like gesture required ahead. So let's do it. And you kind of have to let the whole animation play. Oh, it didn't work. Actually, okay, I know what it is. We'll put on Sorceress Selen's crown, and then use the gesture. I think you might need a glintstone crown for it to work. Yes. I noticed when I did the erudition spell with the glintstone crown that my mage character is wearing, that it lit up the glintstones. Thought that was a nice detail. I think what was up here is just a couple like big spells. Oh, and this guy. Every time one of these things gets summoned, it like startles me. It's because it's a loud noise right next to you is pretty much the reason why there. I assumed it would be like a memory stone up here, but it is in fact two powerful spells instead. The Cannon of Haima and the Gavel of Haima, and we actually seen these spells recently in Miquella's Erdtree. used by the two mages in front of the boss door up there. Let's check out the lore here. Creates a magical great hammer, slams it down. Drawn from the scholarly conspectus of Haima, the adjudicator of the academy. This sorcery employs might as a means to quell conflict. So adjudicator being like a judge or someone who arbitrates decisions or conflicts between people. And another one drawn from the conspectus of Haima. This sorcery employs might as a means to quell the conflict. Why is there... That's funny. Drawn from the scholarly conspectus, and this one's not a scholarly conspectus. These are interesting spells. I'm using them on my mage character. They don't seem that powerful, but they are interesting to be sure. It's kind of funny because I'm mostly just using pebbles on my mage. It seems like it has the best damage per FP possible. Hopefully that's not strictly true, but it does sort of feel like that. Alright, so yet another random side quest for us. Speaking of, let's go to Jarburg, because I came back here and noticed things were changed as well. I wasn't sure what was going on with this area, but yes, I returned and noticed that this big jar here was destroyed, and our friend Jarbairn is no longer here. So let's explore this town, because I had not. What happened, like I said, I went to the site of grace here, noticed the big oh, Jarburn's right here. I noticed the big jar was destroyed, and I was like, okay, we gotta get out of here. I gotta save this for the recording. All right, let's talk to our friend.
Oh, cuz.
Our cuz.
I'm glad you came, but we're fine now. Dialos fought the poacher, though quite a lot of us got broken.
Yeah, I noticed. It's okay, buddy.
I won't cry though. I'm a warrior jar.
How do you cry?
A warrior.
I guess there is like a head inside the jar, theoretically.
The tale of House Hoslow is told in blood. That's the kind of warrior I want to be one day, cuz.
Aww.
Even if I'm scared, I'll still fight to protect everyone.
Aw, that's adorable. Our friend Dialos Hoslow was unsure about his ability to do anything, but it seems like he protected the village and inspired Jarbairn here to become a better warrior.
The tale of that's the kind. Even if I'm.
I think this might be his body right here. That's unfortunate. Oh, he's alive. Oh, well, for the moment.
You. Are the jars? Are they all right? Defend them.
Yeah. Yeah, you defended them.
Then all is well. This fool proved his worth in the end.
Oh man. Champion ahead. Well done, hero. Angel ahead. Oh, I'm tearing up. That's so cute. Jarbairn will live on with your memory.
The tale of how. That's the kind of warrior. Even if I'm scared.
Okay, let's maybe reload the area. See if there's any more development. Okay, seems as Jarbairn has moved. Is he gonna... Because the jars are always looking for worthy warriors, right? So I wonder, is he gonna put some pieces of Dialos inside of him?
The tale of House Hoslow is told in blood.
That's a different line
That's
read.
the kind of warrior I'm going to be. One who protects everybody. The tale of House. That's the
Okay, so it is a different line read, which means that, you know, things have changed a little. Let's reload once more. Oh, he's back up there. Let's go get this loot first. It seems like the body is indeed gone. Diallo's mask that does not wear, as well as a Newman rune and Hoslow's petal whip. That's interesting. So was he a Newman? These House Hoslow people? America is said to be a Newman as well, right? Yes, are in fact the same stock as Queen America herself. One of the things I did off camera was go back to the Shaman Village in the DLC, and it's sort of I'm not gonna say confirm. What's the opposite of confirm? It rejected my idea that perhaps trees were all the offspring of the Erdtree, because it is said that Queen America's grandmother is a tree in the Shaman Village. The shamans are trying to revert or turn themselves into trees, at least some of them anyway. I don't remember where I read that lore, but it's kind of impossible for all trees to be the offspring of the Erdtree if her grandmother was a tree, right? So maybe, now hear me out, maybe the trees are the are the result of shamans who succeeded in their transformation. I'll shut up and we'll read more about House Hoslow, I suppose. Replica of a twin-tailed silver helm with flowery adornments, only without the twin tails. Diallos Hoslow had an older brother who was a stern, self-possessed man of few words. His achievements made him seem out of reach, and so the younger aspired to be like the older, yearning for the day that he would tell the tale of House Hoslow in blood, knowing full well that it would break his brother's heart. And then we got his Hoslow's petal whip. Didn't we already have one of these? Metal whip formed of razor-sharp chain-link blades that have the appearance of flower petals. I mean, we can sit down. I want to see something. We'll go to our chest here and see if we can quickly find the whip. Hoslow's petal whip. Yeah, we have two now. Okay. Just put away some of these items we're not going to use. Clean up the inventory a tiny bit. I have too many battle hammers here. I'll sort through the inventory later. This is an item we're going to use in the DLC eventually, so that's why I'm keeping it around. I could put it away because we're not going back to the DLC anytime soon, but I just want to remind myself, you know? I don't want to forget. Just like Jerburn will never forget House Hoslow.
Thanks for coming back, cuz. I've been thinking. It's time for me to set out on a journey as a warrior jar upon the path of champions.
Oh. This is kind of what I was hoping for in the first place. I'm glad we actually got some resolution here.
Wow. Cuz, are these insights from Uncle Alexander? Thank you, cuz I'm a warrior jar, so I need to be strong. I can really have them, right?
I don't want them.
Understand. I'll get strong. Strong enough. I deserve to have Uncle's insights.
Sure. Whatever you say. It's weird. He's kind of like a growth coming out his side right there. Both sides, I guess.
I'll see you again. When I set out, warriors are supposed to work alone. Goodbye, cuz. And thanks for everything. I'll never forget you, cuz. I'll never forget you.
And I'll never forget you, Jerburn, Jarburn, Jar Jar Barons. Let's reload the area once more. Once more with gusto. Oh, and he's gone, leaving us an item, a present. Hopefully it's something nice from my favorite cause. A companion jar. He gave us our own little companion. Raises potency of throwing pots. That's interesting. A talisman given by the jars to their friends. Though the jars are brought to life by human flesh and blood, they are all rather kindly folk. Perhaps they were made to be better than their innards. We all aspire to be better than our innards. So I think that means we're done with Jarberg here. Hopefully we see him in future, but I kind of doubt we will, to be honest. Now, there's another thing that we've been sort of, I'm not going to say ignoring, but you may recall Nefeli Lu, who is the lady barbarian. Let me pull out the lore from my starting equipment here, just so I'm absolutely sure. The champion Pauldron reserved for the Badlands bravest. Following the example of the chieftain Horalu, the brave warriors of the Badlands shun excess adornment. So she is of the Badlands. Gatekeeper Gostock was here as well. And then I was like unsure what was going on, so I also resorted to Googling. And I'm glad I did, because apparently to move on both Gatekeeper Gostock's quest and Nefeli Lu's, it required us to sit down at this site of grace. Why? I don't know. But once I sat down, I came back out here and Gostock was gone. And then I walked up these stairs. There is what is left of Godric down there. And I noticed that Nefeli Lu is up here. I'm not sure if Gostock is with her. I didn't actually go inside. But apparently Gostock, Nefeli Lu, and Kenneth Height all have a quest that kind of overlaps. Unfortunately, I killed Kenneth Height dead because I wasn't sure what was going on with him, and I kind of got sick of his sass. So now we find Nefeli Lu at Godric's throne here. Let's talk to her first.
It's been some time. I must thank you for your aid. I told Father I would be with him no longer. I remembered the vow I took when I first became a warrior, so many moons ago. This land is much like the one from which I hail. I will call upon the storm to drive away the foulness that has settled on the winds.
It makes sense, Stormvale being, you know, a castle of storm. And she has her Storm Hawk now that we gave her the ashes. It unsettled me as to why she was still hanging out in the burning round table hold, so I had to Google what was going on there.
Again, I am Nefeli Lu, warrior. Some call me by the title of Lady, but I remain the same woman underneath, though I have now abandoned my former guidance. I cannot express how much you've helped me.
Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone.
Should you become Elden Lord, I would gladly lighten your burden.
Excellent. So we have someone else who's going to join our reign in the future once I become Elden Lord. Hey, at least we're not getting terrible endings for every NPC, just most of them.
Farewell, fellow warrior. I will remain to summon the storm, but your guidance and your fight surely lie elsewhere.
It's true. Alright, let's talk to Gostock. I killed Gostock on my mage character because I didn't know what was going on because he had never moved from his spot over here. He's got like a gnarled hand, but his other hand has been chopped off.
Ah, you is it? Haven't seen your mug in quite some time. As you can see, I'm the new lady's attendant. Freedom was worth squat. Besides, I like it round here. Lady Nefeli's still fair of heart and countenance.
And countenance. He's saying she's pretty.
Still, I have the lady's trust, so I can loot all the corpses I like.
Well, at least he's honest.
I'll let you take a look at the goods if you fancy.
He's got an Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone. We're definitely gonna buy that. I'm gonna buy more of these silver pickled fowl feet, because I do use them when I'm farming stuff now. We don't really need anything else.
Ah, back again, are we? Curious one you are. Well then, what are you after?
Alright, so it looks like this quest line might be done as well.
I will remain to summon your guidance. Surely, Lyell.
And we can't actually, even if we wanted to ruin their day, we can't attack them in here. I suppose if we stand outside and shoot them, or shoot her, we could probably still fight her. I don't know. I don't actually want to do that. I'm just kind of, you know, theorizing a little. It's quite the tower up there. I don't know if I've noticed that. I guess it is the same height as the other tower. One thing I did notice, and this might be a bit silly of a thought, but I'm having a lot of weird thoughts, such as my conspiracy theory that all trees have spawned from the Erdtree. You may recall that there is a Godwyn corpse in the basement of this castle. I was looking, and I noticed this kind of looks like a face, which is a bit weird. Normally, like, you know, I would say that's nothing. There's no reason for that to be a face, but some of the equipment, like the modeled shields of this area that you find, allude to the fact that the modeling might be perhaps a result of something twisted in the depths of Stormvale Castle, and the twisted figure being a piece of Godwyn's corpse. So maybe part of the reason why the castle is in such a shambles, that's hard to say, is because of that curse, the curse of death, I guess. It doesn't make much sense, but that is a face. That or my pareidolia is getting the better of me. Alright, so yet another quest that we potentially have finished. I think that's pretty much it for all the NPCs now. All the rest of the NPCs are just merchants, which we will hopefully get a little bit more information about in the future. And if not, I'll probably kill them before we go to New Game Plus. That's probably what's going on. So I mentioned there was that blue Drake talisman +1. I just found it in Celia, Town of Sorcery. It was just like a random alcove that I missed. And then let's go back to the Celia hideaway, because if you recall, this is where Master Lusat was. So we gotta go see what he had, because Master Azure dropped his armor set for us. I kind of feel like there's not going to be anything over here, but I have to check. Once I saw Azure's body had moved, I made a mental note to come back here. I guess I should be picking up some crystal cave moss, but okay, I was gonna say, is that grafted scion back? And it is indeed. That's kind of rude. I believe it is down there. Okay. Chill out. This is what happens when you're over-leveled and overconfident. You just run into everything. Lusat's glintstone crown, as well as robe, manchettes, and leg wraps. Cool. Let's read about the crown first. The giant blue glintstone crown worn by Lusat, primeval current sorcerer. This crown replaced Lusat's brain and skull altogether, and now removed from his body, he's all but dead. What power remains within raises the potency of Lusat's primeval current sorceries at the cost of additional FP. So you can either wear one or the other, I guess. but it'll only power up half of the primeval current sorceries, I guess. Robe reserved for Grand Masters. Same lore as before. Same lore as before for the arms. And then ragged waistcloth that extends to the thighs, common amongst old-fashioned sorcerers. I'm curious, this is a bit weird, a bit random of a thought. What if we put on the glintstone, these new glintstone crowns? Oh man, it has like, it looks like an eye. I wonder, that's definitely intentional. What if we use erudition? Huzzah! Okay, it did nothing. What about this one? Let's try it again. Huzzah! Okay, nothing. Wait, do you have to be in that building for that? Oh my god. For the animation to play, the little sparkle magics. Huzzah! Okay, it does actually do an animation with this helm. So I guess those helms, it just doesn't. What about this one? The Haima. I mean, there's really nothing to be even seen here, I guess. I wonder if I can edit this or tailor this helmet with my good friend Buck. So I think that means we're done with our random assortment of things to find. Oh no, of course not. We have to go talk to Millicent. I was saving the best for last. So let's go do that. This is the reason, by the way, that I forgot that Millicent was here, because half the time she doesn't appear on the map. I don't know what is up with that. But she is still over here. Well, I'm hoping she's still over here. And this will be the last quest line we do before I end this video. And the next episode, we will go fight Melania. But yes, she was the one who prompted me to go visit all the NPCs again, because I remember she's on the path to Melania, and the fact that we hadn't seen her that whole time kind of worried me. And it makes sense as to why she's still waiting around here. She's missing an arm, right? Just like Melania is. And if you may recall, we have a prosthesis that we can give her. Golden prosthesis used by the one-armed Valkyrie. With practice and skill, it can be used as proficiently as a real arm. And we found this in the Shaded Castle.
Now, I'm tracing the path Melania took.
Yep.
She's passed into the lands that lie beyond the Erdtree.
Yep. I definitely I know that.
Are you giving me this arm?
I'm giving you a hand.
Thank you. I am in your debt yet again. I think if the arm serves well enough, it might be possible for me to wield a sword again.
Excellent.
If the arm serves well enough, it might be possible for me to wield a sword again.
So as I mentioned,
then I can aid you in battle.
I was gonna say, I googled more about her quest line. You can summon her for a number of bosses now that you give her the arm. Of course, D. Merc would never summon her. He doesn't need the help, but it is something to keep in mind. So I marked off the spots that she will be in future, including, where's number 2? Oh yes, up here. So this is partly what prompted my confusion, because I was told that she would be up here where the Godskin fight was, and I was looking around and feeling like a dummy because she wasn't anywhere to be found. Of course, she's right here now. Actually, I think this fight is one that you can summon her for as well.
Ah, we meet yet again. The arm you gave me truly is a thing of wonder. It feels just like my own. Even handling a sword. Perhaps it is foolish to say this to you of all people, but I am sure of my skill with the sword. Thus, I would have you call upon me in battle, should you ever have the need.
Thankfully, to progress her quest, you don't actually have to summon her. It seems like most of the NPCs don't require summons at all.
I would have you call upon it is the only way that I can express my thanks. I would have you call it is the only way.
So we've talked to her here. Hopefully that means she will move on yet again to location number 3, which is the ancient Snow Valley ruins. Again, she's on the path to Melania, and you need to go up this way to get the second piece of the Erdtree medallion. Oh, she's right there. I was like, where would she be?
To think we'd meet in such a place.
Yes, this is a bit odd.
Purpose, possibly. No. I know well enough who you are. And what I know is good enough for me. Call upon me again, in battle, should you have the need.
She has like glowing golden eyes, so maybe she also sees the path of grace. The path of guidance.
I'm searching for a fort to the north of the ruins.
Yep.
I heard the master of the fort was given a medallion that allowed him to visit the Erdtree.
Yep.
Indeed. I believe that is where Melania will be found.
Yep.
The Erdtree is hidden somewhere in these northern lands.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of a funny thing. She's like, oh, the master has a piece of the medallion that allows him to go to the Erdtree. But if you have one piece, then it's not what you need. You need both, right?
I'm searching for I heard the master of the
So actually, I wonder if that means Latenna stole the other piece from Castle Sol, because she has mentioned that this is her birthplace. I'm assuming Ordina, the liturgical town, or maybe the apostate derelict. Actually, no, because she refers to this lady as a sister, a younger sister. Okay, so the final thing we need to do for Millicent's quest, as far as I know, is go back to the drainage channel. And you may recall that I said I never want to come back here again, and I don't. But apparently her quest is up here. And it's funny because, again, if I hadn't looked up this quest, there was no way I would have solved it. Because I would never have come back here on my own volition. Let alone going back to where that ulcerated tree spirit was found. Over this way. So I am glad I cheated a little bit. Just a little bit. For her and Nefeli Lu. Both cases, I would have never found them on my off time. Apparently, there's gonna be like a summon sign or something up here. Is my understanding. I'm a little concerned that we have not seen a summon sign here. So maybe we call this an episode and I will do some more cheating and figure out what we need to do to get the summon sign to appear. Let's go to the prayer room. This, I think, is directly outside Melania's arena. No. Oh, never mind. She is right here. Where is this? Whoa! My bad. I didn't mean to upset you. So this is after you explore the tree and you find your way down here. Let's read the lore on those. I don't think there was anything new. Yeah. In fact, I think we have these before. Alright, let's talk to her.
Again we meet. I can only surmise our purposes are aligned. In which case, allow me to explain myself. I am of Melania's blood, but in what capacity I know not. I could be sister, daughter, or an offshoot.
Offshoot.
Whatever the case, though, I am certain of a kinship between us.
I mean, you're both missing the same arm. Although she has both her legs, I'm pretty... Can you see her leg? Her foot? It's kind of funny.
Something I must return to Melania. The will that was once her own. The dignity. The sense of self. That allowed her to resist the call of the Scarlet Rot. The pride she abandoned. To meet Radahn's measure.
So, the last real battle that Melania had was in Caelid versus Radahn's army, and she won. Apparently. So maybe she left a piece of her behind, and that piece became Millicent, or whatever that may mean.
There is something I thought
Okay.
of dignity.
So let's go back to the other location. The drainage channel here. This is further on. You have to go through that castle town. Elphael, the Brace. To get over here, so it makes sense that you have to find her there first. And then we come up here. Why does it boost me up 2 times? I imagine it does not stack. Seek right. Likely well done, then seek friend. So you have to kill the ulcerated tree spirit, then come back here. And now you have a choice. Be summoned to challenge Millicent, so you can fight Millicent. Or you can be summoned to assist Millicent. And I think the idea here is we're going to assist her. So let's give this a shot, shall we? And there she is. Oh, we got some red phantoms. Amy, the third sister. Okay, thankfully she cannot be knocked off the edge, because... Oh, is she just gonna die? Did I just fail the quest? I died. Wait, I thought I killed one of them. I hope I didn't just fail the quest. Because if so, this is gonna be pretty difficult. Okay. Okay. I wonder if I didn't actually die, if instead what happened was she died and therefore it took me out of the fight. Okay, this is gonna be tough. Especially because it seems like Millicent's gonna try to get in the battle no matter what we do. Oh my gosh. Wait, there's 4. Youngest sister, Pollyanna. Ooh, boy. Okay, Millicent does do some decent damage against these sisters. I imagine they're all related. There's Maureen, Amy, Pollyanna. Why do the other ones start with, or have an M in them, and then Pollyanna just exists? Okay, this is gonna be tough. What if we use the roar? Can I hurt Millicent? Because if so... Oh my god. This seems to be pretty good, actually. And as long as it's also not hurting Millicent, I'm pretty okay with what's going on here. Alright, it's just Pollyanna. The youngest. And she's out here casting pest spells. Alright, that was pretty easy apparently. Millicent's sisters defeated. I can't remember what Pollyanna means. I think Pollyanna is like yearning for a simpler time. The rotten winged sword insignia. A talisman depicting a raised prosthetic blade, an honor bestowed upon the Valkyries who serve the goddess of rot, raises attack power with successive attacks. The four sisters were born in the swamp of Ionia and came to the Haligtree under the aegis of Gowry, and yet those buds were doomed to never blossom. So Gowry did mention that he had other adopted children. They were born in the swamp of Ionia. I wonder what that means. Greatly raises attack power with successive attacks. Okay, so it's very much like the winged sword. I wonder if this is going to be useful. Like, I guess if we do R1 spam, it actually is pretty useful of an item, I think. But this Blade of Mercy might be pretty good too, because for most bosses, we probably aren't going to R1 spam. I was using this one. I wanted to be using this one the whole time. I didn't quite realize. So I'm pretty happy with our trinkets now. I also got rid of, and by got rid of them, I mean stored away some of the lower level trinkets so we don't have to go through them every time. I mean, the Great Jar Arsenal might be pretty good too, but it's just going to extend our dodge roll a bit more. Alright, I didn't expect us to take the whole episode doing these random errands, but I guess I'm glad it did, because it means at the start of the next episode, we're going to go fight Melania. So I guess let's go to... Is it just the drain? No, it's not. It's gotta be the Haligtree roots. It's probably where we want to be. Maybe we'll even see her over here. In this room. Just announcing my presence, no big deal. This room is so weird to me. I don't quite understand the significance of it. Wait, was that? Oh yeah, that led back up to the big tower. I kind of assumed she would be over here. Be wary of chaos, then offer precious item. Can we summon her for this fight? I wonder. Doesn't really seem like it. I'm gonna hit this. Why can I not hit these anymore? Something's gone wrong. It feels like I can't use the Stake Americas anymore. So maybe we are just done with Millicent's quest there. This is like a one of the mausoleum caskets. I guess not exactly like it. Yeah, I don't know quite what's going on with this big scarlet bud. And the rest of the room, I guess. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call this an episode. This went pretty well, in my opinion. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Oh, I have to switch this out again. To thank you. Thank you very much. Click the like button if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye, folks.